welcome back to Crimson Grey. Man, so much happened last episode. We're going on a Friday. Wow, John, this place is so nice. Anyway, I know it's the last episode. I didn't really talk as much. I read everything. I didn't put my input in it so much. But anyway, I'm your main man now in Paradise. Please watch me screw up reading as always, because I'm retarded. Wow, John, this place is so nice. A nice place as they let high school kids in with only a few days for reservation. Anyway, reservation. Anyway, when I asked for a romantic place, I never dreamed it would be this romantic. I'm not dressed up enough for this. This is the kind of place you take someone to propose. Just so it's clear, I'm not going to propose. Ah, well, I remember that this is a good place for it. John could only hope that the place would be nice. All he knew about it was that it was his parent. What he knew about it was that his parents said it was nice back when they were younger. Back together, Jesus. They entered and Lizzie was delighted by everything. The decor, the menu, the lighting, the food. Or maybe she was really just delighted with one thing, the event itself. Fortunately, the staff seemed to find her adorable instead of disturbing, so John found himself relaxing even when they were just chatting idly. Lizzie was nice to be around. Midway through the meal, he realized that Lizzie was resting her hand on the table. She was necessarily inviting it, but if he stretched, he thought he could put his hand on top of hers. Lizzie's eyes went wide when he touched her, for a moment just staring as if she couldn't believe it. But after a moment, she gave him a brilliant smile and laced her fingers through his. Okay, he didn't meant to do that, but John decided he could just awkwardly hold her hands while they ate. That certainly seemed to be Lizzie's intention. She actually wasn't getting a lot eaten, since she didn't talk with her mouth full and listen. She actually wasn't getting a lot eaten, since she didn't talk with her mouth full and listen raptly whenever he talked. But at least she seemed to be having fun. After a while, Lizzie patted at her mouth with her napkin and sighed in satisfaction. She didn't let go of his hand though. That was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's all really good. Not the food, the date. Oh, but I've made you talk so much, you haven't gotten to eat very much. That's okay, No, I'll be quiet and watch you while you eat, because that's normal. I hate it when people watch me eat. One of my ex-girlfriends, watched me whilst I eat. I couldn't eat it. I just ended up putting the food down. I was like, I'm not hungry anymore. I just don't like being watched whilst I'm eating. It's really... You know, you get it. So Lizzie, how about you? Tell me where you live. Oh, it isn't that too special, just the house. Please tell me more. Do you live with someone? I know not your parents, but some other relative? No, it's just me. Abby inherited a house, I think, and she didn't manage to sell it off when things got bad. Abby? My mother. She was an awful woman. I don't want to talk about her. It's nice enough, though. It's a nice enough house, I suppose. Abby wrecked a lot of it, but I've been able to repair it with money from James. Your father? I guess, but he never cared enough to meet me. Abby was always complained about him, and the checks don't always come. But I don't want to talk about that. It's all horrible, isn't it? People can't even pretend to be in love, just tear into each other. That's not what I want. Not at all. When I fell in love with you, I knew it would last forever. It's been like 2 weeks, hasn't it? Wouldn't it be nice for us to get a house together? Maybe even build one? Ooh, so many choices, I can't decide. But I want it to be something we choose together, not something we inherit. Some place where we want to live together forever. Maybe a big house, big enough that it can have lots of nice windows, but also rooms inside where no one can see us, and maybe a furniture. Oh, fountain. Oh, jeez. Lizzie giggled and squirmed in her seat, as if she couldn't contain herself, her fingers in his grip so tightly that it almost hurt. But now I'm just saying things. None of those things really matter. The only thing in our house that I care about is you. Okay. It was the longest he had yet gotten her to talk about herself or her goals, and while it was still pretty focused on him, he didn't mind her hearing the details. That's very nice image, Lizzie. I'm glad you think so. And you finished your food. This has been wonderful, but can we go now? Can we? Only slightly worrying about what she was thinking, John paid the bill, trying not to wince, and then they left the restaurant. They got onto the bus, and Lizzie had never let go of his hand the entire time. He began to wonder when she was going to actually let go, and that was when she leaned her head against his shoulder. This feels so nice. Yes, it does. Really? You enjoyed tonight? Oh, god damn it. Really? You enjoyed tonight? I did. It's not often that I hear you talk about things you want. Other than, me. It felt ridiculous to say that. Like some kind of boast, and a second later he realised that it might just be exacerbating her problem, or at least making light of it. But Lizzie just considered his word thoughtfully, then gave a slow nod. I've always wanted to know everything about you, John. I'm glad you want to know about me. ... John, would you like me less if I stopped taking the medicine? Shit. What was that supposed to What was he supposed to say to that? John desperately racked his brain for a good answer. I like you, Lizzie. I like the person you really are. Is the person you are now the person you really are? What do you mean? I mean, when I got depressed, I don't feel like myself. Medicine might change me, but it's just to change me back to myself. But it's not who you naturally are. Does that matter? I mean, we got to choose who we are, otherwise we're not really people, just animals. So, who are you, Lizzie? You seemed like a nice person. Now that I've gotten to know you, is this not who you want to be? Did you feel better before taking the medicine? But you liked me tonight. Tonight was wonderful, but I'm not suggesting I didn't like you before. But silly John, don't worry about it. I love you, no matter what. Now, would you like to see my house? John froze, not sure how to take the question. Then again, Lizzie had already seen his house. Maybe she just wanted to open up. He said he'd like to hear her talk about herself. After all, if she was actually offering to let him into her life a little more, it would be stupid for him to turn it down. Sure, Lizzie, I'd love to see it. Oh, I'm sure you'll. Absolutely sure. I'm sure you will. Absolutely sure. Okay. He'd planned to take her to her stop, just to be gentlemanly. But now, John found himself getting off at the same place. Lizzie eagerly set off from the bus stop, looking back to make sure that he was following. In the end, she led him to a small house. It was cozy little thing, much warmer and more pleasant than he expected. If only there was colour. Here it is. It's cozy. It's cozy. You don't need to flatter my house, silly. All that matters is that we'll be there. She led him inside and showed him around, though it was very strange and erratic, tall. He wondered if this was the first time she'd ever shown someone inside her home. The inside of the house was less cozy than the outside, not because of the house itself, but because of how bare it was. A few rooms looked as though they'd been used, but the rest looked like they were. A few rooms look as though they're being used, but the rest looked like they were out of a catalogue. It mimicked a house, but it didn't look like a place where anyone lived. The only thing that didn't match the catalogue image was a heavy metal door off a side hallway. Lizzie didn't make the slightest reference to it, or even seem to notice it existed. This picture, is it your mother? Oh, that! I forgot I even had that. Lizzie didn't seem to care, but John was curious enough to pick up the frame and look at closer. He was surprised to find his hand immediately coated in dust that had to be years of dust. How could Lizzie have lived here for so long and never even disturbed a picture sitting on the table like this? In any case, he could see where Lizzie got her good looks from. But other than that, she and her mother didn't look very much alike. There was something in Lizzie's eyes and posture that was just lacking in her mother. She was on the beach with some man, Neither of them looked like they were enjoying themselves. Maybe he was imagining things, but he could practically see the growing enmity between them. Absurdly, his mood began to decline. It was just a random relationship from people he didn't know. It had nothing to do with him. Yet the idea of people producing a child from a relationship they obviously cared so little about sent him into a spiral. John? John, you shouldn't be sad. Our house wouldn't have anything like this in it. Huh? No, I was just, Don't worry. I want to be around you every second of every day of forever. But I know that wouldn't work when we grow up. I can get a job. I'm good at a lot of things. It will be sad being apart, but we can call each other at work and send each other things. And when we get home and see each other again, after so long, it will feel so good. Her picture of the future actually sounded nice, lifted a little off the cloud in his head, but he couldn't find a way to put that into words, and so he said nothing. Undeterred, Lizzie encouraged him into the living room and pushed him down onto the large couch. It hadn't seen much use, but it was free from dust and gloriously soft. You stay here, okay? Give me a moment to change out of this. Ooh. John swallowed and stayed where he was. He didn't have a lot of experience, but he'd heard his friend talk about their exploits. He thought a lot of it was lies, but was there something to what they said? If Lizzie really came out wearing lingerie or something else crazy, he didn't know what he would do. He honestly didn't. Part of him that had been asleep for a long time, like that idea, fantasized about what might happen. Another part of him was incredibly nervous to even consider the idea of being close to her. He couldn't keep sitting there. His nerves would destroy him. Instead, John got up and began to look around the house more carefully. The dustiest part of the house seemed to have remnants of Lizzie's mother. At least he didn't think Lizzie would be into cheap little glass figurines. Opening one of the rooms, he discovered that it was an unused bedroom. He was about to go when he spotted another picture frame sitting beside the bed. This one featured Lizzie as a child sitting on her mother's lap. It struck him so strongly that he immediately went to look at it more carefully, not caring that his hand got even dustier. Lizzie's mother was glowing and obviously proud of her daughter, while Lizzie ignored her entirely. No, not just ignored her. There was a flat emptiness in her eyes, as if they weren't even related. It didn't seem to stop her mother in the picture, but the distance between them was agonizing. Why would anyone keep a picture like that, much less frame it? John stared at it a while longer, then set it down and left the room. The look Lizzie had been given her mother, those eyes shouldn't have belonged to a human child. John didn't want to think about it a second longer, so he rushed out the room as fast as he could. Desperate for something to take his mind off that unpleasant thought, John looked around for anything else. The door next to the bedroom was jammed, but he wrenched it open and stared. The room was filled with pictures of him, his yearbook photo, but also lots of pictures of him in class. Pictures she must have taken herself. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. There were pictures of him sleeping in his own bed. For a moment, he just stood there, trembling. Then John snapped back into his senses. He immediately stepped back and closed the door, trying to not make a sound. Oh, Jesus, the music. He told himself he shouldn't be so surprised. He knew she was obsessed, but it still shook him. He was inside his stalker's house. John? Yes? I just wandered off. I'm coming back. Good, there's something I wanted to show you. Oh, God! John? Oh, shit! What are you doing with the axe? You don't trust me, John? That makes me sad. So sad. You think I'm going to trust you when you're coming at me with an axe? I tried to be patient. I can't wait any longer. So I need to take matters into my own hand. Hold still, John. Stand firm. John did his best to stay in place, afraid that running would just make her chase him, but as she got closer, she scrapped the axe along the wall and gave him a smile that was anything but sweet. This won't hurt very much, and then things will be better. Trust me. Just swallowing, John stayed where he was. Lizzie got even closer, her smile widening, and then her other hand came up. Instead of a weapon, it held a dark rag. It was over his mouth and nose before he could react. Stunned, John only struggled instinctively. Then the chemical fumes overwhelmed him, and he's out. Well, chloroform at its best, I guess. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching. I've been your main man, Aaron Paradise. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. All that fancy stuff, and I shall see you in the next episode. Have I done goofed? Who knows. But thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. Thank you and bye.